Right, and we are live with the first episode of Disney Disasters. So last week we did Disney Delights, which was Meet the Robinsons. So every other week we're going to do what's called Disney Disasters, where we talk about movies from the House that we're not necessarily the most fond of. Robbie actually likes this movie that we're talking about this week, Turning Red, so he's not joining us because he actually likes this movie. But we're joined by somebody who does not like the movie, and that is Justin Doe from Worth the View Movies.
Hey, what's up, Josh? How you doing?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show. So I have ranted and raved about why I don't like this movie, so everybody kind of knows why I'm not so fond of this movie. I was going to have Sean on the show, too, because he doesn't like the movie either, but he's busy today. It was super last minute, but let's show everybody why you are not a fan of Turning Red.
Yeah, well, it's not a horrible movie. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't, made for me. It wasn't
Yeah.
something that I relate to. I do think that we have seen this sort of animation styling as well. So I didn't feel like it was anything new to my eyes and what Disney has done and Pixar has done before. Um, it's sweet though, it is about family and being there for each other, and um, I like that it's an Asian-led cast, and that there's some sort of homosexuality undertones in it a little bit, because Disney does shy away from that. Um, so there are some things that I do like about it, and like that it where it was reaching, but yeah, it just didn't work out overall. It also was one of those
Yeah,
pandemic
for me, it was a little bit too.
releases.
Yeah, true. For me, it was a little bit too frenetic. It was a little bit too quick. It moved around a little too fast. It was like everybody on the movie had ADHD or something because it was way too fast. It was way too annoying. And none of the characters are that charming or likable either. I found them all very annoying. And I don't think the message was that good either because it basically encourages active rebellion against your parents. And Sean agrees with me on this. I thought that the girl twerking at her mother as an act of rebellion was a little bit unnecessary. When you think about that, that's a little creepy, right? They were so desperate to see an underage girl twerking that they decided to deliberately animate this and put it in the final film. And that's not excusable at all. I don't know why they thought that'd be a good idea or why they thought they'd get away with that. So,
Yeah, I mean,
and
she's
yeah, like
she's
you said,
third.
we've seen this before.
Right, yeah, and she's 13. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. I don't want to see a 13-year-old twerk, so I can't even imagine
that's
what their
creepy.
mom would be saying about that. But
Yeah,
you're right about the
and on top of
ADHD
that,
kids. I mean, her friends were crazy. Just it seemed like they drank coffee before, they went to school, and they're only 13 years old. They were off the walls. Uh, it's like they were drinking, what kids drink nowadays, Celsius and stuff, and it was a little too much. Kind of loud friendships.
I'm glad that they tried a different animation style, though. I'll give it to them because a lot of Disney and Pixar movies, the human characters all look kind of the same. I'm glad they kind of went with that like Steven Universe type of style, but it's a shame that the story they chose to tell with that style was just not very good. And we've seen this before. It's Teen Wolf, but it's a panda, and they didn't really do anything that different with it. They just did Teen Wolf. So
Yeah, made it female, and then have her, get her period, and that's sort of the underlining
yeah,
tone to this whole thing is when
anything
she
is
got her
cheesy.
period. Yeah, I mean,
It
it's a
should
tough
be
subject,
PG
right? And
13. That's
yeah,
my question: is
yeah,
how does this get a PG rating? It should be PG-13. If it were PG-13, to be a little bit less harsh on it, but because it's PG, and the fact that none of this was in any of the trailers, they just advertised it as the Incredible Hulk, but it's a panda, and none of this
yeah.
is what it was really about was in the trailer. So any unsuspecting parent who may not be ready to tackle this yet is going to find this on Disney Plus. See, oh, cute little talking panda animal movie. I'll put that on for my 5-year-old, and yeah, no, what the movie's
Well,
really
yeah,
about is that. So they
the
deceptively
5-year-old
marketed it,
isn't
which is
gonna.
also why it took me off.
Well, actually, that there people are doing that nowadays. Like right now with Wonka and The Color Purple and Mean Girls and stuff. Is like they never told people that it's a musical until they go to the theater, and then it
Yeah,
becomes a musical. So uh, they are hiding things to get people in the seats. But yeah, the 5-year-old would never know anything that's going on the screen when it comes to the story. They're just looking at the red panda and wanting that new toy. Um, but
yeah. I always
it
look at it.
just is.
Yeah, I don't have kids, but I always look at it through the gaze of if I had a kid or a niece or nephew or whatever, would I want them to watch this kids movie? The answer to this is no. At least not right away. Even with this, there's a lot of other Disney movies that attack puberty before, but in a much more comfortable way. Like Big Hero 6 was a fantastic example of how to do that the right way. But yeah, and out of nowhere, there's just this like weird abortion reference at the end, which was so just out of place. The my panda, my
Yeah,
choice thing was just, what was that? So yeah, I
yeah.
was
I mean,
very
it's.
angry with this movie.
I think what you're saying here is completely right. It's all too fast. Like there was so much thrown at us and at the audience that it was too much to sort of keep up with. And with situations like that, and like what you just said about the abortion, is like that's a huge deal. That needs to be slowly kind of introduced and talked about because imagine you're a
And
13-year-old
certainly not
watching
in a
this
movie
and
for children. It's
it
certainly
was
not a
what?
movie for children.
Yeah,
It's
no,
certainly not a
I
movie for
mean,
children. It has no place.
yeah. Yeah, 16 and above maybe.
Yeah.
13 for sure. But yeah, like imagine your 13-year-old watching that and then asking you questions about like abortion afterwards and you're just not ready to discuss it. I mean, you can't always have Disney movies help you parent, you know,
But
not
nor
without
should you. I
permission.
mean, I always like, pre-screen everything before showing it because nothing is safe these days, and this is a sad example of that. I'm pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
when it's something that I have to approve. Like I have a relative, and she has very little kids, and lately she's been saying that she doesn't trust his anymore, which is perfectly justifiable. So every once in a blue moon, text is going, "Hey, no, this is a movie that I think you and your family would enjoy because there wasn't anything that I think you would find objectionable in it for your kids." So, but that's once in a blue moon now. Every time I have to go, I enjoyed the movie, but you have to be aware that there's this and this and this in it. So you may not be comfortable with showing it to you guys. I certainly enjoyed it though. So
The when the mother turns into a panda, I that was some pretty good animation there. The fur on that
yeah,
was really done well. That I rewatched it
yeah,
just to be able to talk about it, and that was something that I was really impressed by.
yeah. Like I said, it is a shame that it is well animated, except for how fast and frenetic it is. It has its moments, but overall, it's a Disney disaster. So yeah, didn't care for this.
Yeah,
And it's weird. So
uh,
let's talk about the reception that this has been getting, though, because ever since the movie came out, my opinion on this has been very controversial. Every time I talk about why I don't like this movie, people act like I broke into their house and shot their puppy. So like, if I dare to say that I don't like this movie, everyone just comes after me, and they have been for the past like 2 years or however long this movie's been out. Why do you think that is? Because people seem to think this is like Pixar's magnum opus for some reason. If you say anything about it, there's something wrong with you, more so
yeah.
than
I
the
mean,
other
it's
Pixar movies.
probably for a lot of the reasons that we're discussing. It does have undertones of growing up and puberty and stuff like that. So I think people think that they did it in a good way. But becoming a monster after you get your period is not necessarily a good way to say that it's going to be easy or you know
Yeah.
I just would think that women wouldn't want to be known of becoming a monster just because
Thank
there's
you.
jokes about the 1 week a month is the time that you try not to bug your lady or whatever because they know what's happening and that's not it doesn't necessarily it's not true and you also shouldn't be using that as a way of saying that it's okay that happens. I mean it is human to have it, and it's just human nature for women to go through that. So instead of making it seem like it's a bad thing, maybe say that it's a good thing.
Yeah. But why do you think people jump on me and other people? Because Sean got bad reception to this too when he said he didn't care for it. It was one of his most controversial videos. So why do you think that, both me and Sean, when we say that we don't like this movie, people just are so quick to jump on this and try to cancel us?
Well, I just think it's what we're saying. I mean, it's women led, it's Asian led, and it's about going through a hard time in your life. I think people do, well, half the population would, say that this is something that they go through. The other half,
Yeah.
not so much. Yeah, well, I know Rob likes this, and our friend Cody likes this, and but he has sort of kids that he's dealing with, with his wife and stuff. He's a stepfather, so um, maybe it does. What is the people who backlash you guys? Do they have kids?
I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because movies are so subjective anyways. So you when you first watch this movie could have had the worst day ever, and then the movie just didn't make uplift you, and it made you just feel even worse. So you're just like you hate the movie now or whatever. Um, People could have been in their living room with their families and just had the best time laughing and thinking, oh, so cute. So it's all about the time that you watched it as well. That really reflects on how you're going to go about a movie.
True.
So they just
I
probably just
went
had a
back and
really good
rewatched
day
the
that
movie
day.
a total of one time. I went back and rewatched this movie a total of one time after Pixar ranking, and I wasn't having a bad or anything. I just don't like this movie at all, ever. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I rewatching it, I enjoyed it a little bit more, but I still don't it's still not like a great Disney Pixar movie. This would be on the bottom for sure.
yeah,
And,
in my
and
opinion,
during
it's worse than Cars.
first one, second one,
What's
or
your
third one?
worst Pixar? Second one. What's your worst Pixar movie?
Let's take a look. But also with this one, it is a pandemic movie. There was a bunch, Onward was kind of the one that came out right before pandemic, and then we had Soul and Turning Red and Luca. And I
Soul
think
was
Soul
great
and
though.
Luca, yeah, Soul is one of everyone's favorites. But
It's a
also,
pandemic movie.
I really like Luca as well. So, um,
Yeah,
I
Luca
mean,
was
it's not like
okay.
it's not just
I didn't
because,
hate Luca. I just wasn't that exciting because the stakes of it were let's get a scooter. That was the whole plot. Was let's get a scooter. Okay,
yeah,
that's not that exciting. There
yeah,
was a lot of conflict to that one.
yeah. It's to me that's more of just a fun sort of adventure film. It's not really, it's
Yeah,
not doing the Disney
it
Pixar
was a little
trying to
bit boring.
hit the heartstrings. But Lightyear is probably one of the worst
That's
Pixar
your worst.
movies.
Lightyear is your worst.
I'd say so. Yeah, I'm looking at the list here. Yeah, all the other ones are pretty good. I mean, and
Huh.
it's still pretty good. It's not a bad movie. The Good Dinosaur, same sort of thing. It's not a bad movie, but didn't really.
Interesting story about Good Dinosaur. The reason it's so all over the place is because it went through like four different writer and director changes. It was going to have a very different plot. It was going to be about humans coexisting with dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs were basically just like farm equipment or something. But then it was going to have like Neil Patrick Harris in it. It was going to have all these stars, and then like they changed management directors, and it ended up being the movie that we got. So that's probably why it's not very good. It's because they had to rush it out to still meet the release date, even though it was already going through production troubles. So
And it's still not that bad. I mean, Disney Pixar, they don't miss much, just because they don't do well
well,
in a
it's one
box
of the few
office
Pixar
doesn't.
movies. It's one
What
of the
was
few
that?
Pixar movies I don't own. It's one of the few Pixar movies I don't own. But
Uh,
yeah,
which one? Good
I never
Dinosaur?
have a desire to go back and rewatch that. Good Dinosaur, yeah, I give it
Yeah.
like 2 stars. I was disappointed when I saw it. Honestly,
Is
I don't have the
it
ranking list in front of me, but
is Turning
it's
Red
on the
at
bottom
the
though.
very, very bottom?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because as much as I don't like the Cars movies, I at least am more comfortable with the children watching them. The second one, maybe not so much because of how violent it is, but still, it's better than Turning Red, though. So
Yeah, the Cars films are fine. Did you like Elemental from
yeah,
last year?
I was mixed on Elemental. I I think it was a little bit all over the place with the story. I liked the animation though. I just didn't think the story was that interesting.
And by your reception, do you really enjoy Lightyear?
Lightyear was okay. You could watch my review for that. I didn't hate Lightyear, but I gave it like a C or something. I just thought it was kind of average. I
Yeah,
thought the twist was really stupid. So
yeah. Um, and so you're just with this whole sort of project that you're doing is Disney delights and Disney disasters. So it's not just
yes,
Pixar as well. It's going through
no,
all their
it's
oeuvre.
all. Yeah, so far we've got animated films listed for, but we can do live action. We're gonna do Disney Channel when Descendants 4 comes out. We're gonna do all those. So
Disney Channel, nice.
yeah. So like next week
Yeah,
we're gonna do Treasure Planet. So
Treasure Planet.
that's for a delight because we actually like Treasure Planet. So
Fred's.
next week's gonna be a bit more positive now because we're gonna do Disney Delight's Treasure Planet, and then week after that we're gonna do Disasters again, and that one's gonna be Mars Needs Bombs. So
Mars Needs Moms.
yes,
I don't know if I've seen that one.
yeah, it came
And
out
that's
in
a
2011.
2011. Yeah,
2011, yeah. The movie's so bad that it
Disney.
ended up bankrupting an entire animation studio. So
Wow.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but so even though Turning Red is something we didn't like, it's still good and amongst animated films. I mean, it would probably, all of Disney Pixar movies would be in the top, alongside, I'm
it
sure,
didn't
some
win.
Studio Ghibli films.
Yeah. Pinocchio still beat it though. Del Toro's Pinocchio beat it last year at the Oscars, so which I was very happy about because that was a much better movie.
Oh, yes, it was a way better film,
Yeah,
and it was, yeah. So Turning Red was nominated for best animated feature, as mostly every single year Disney has a movie that is up for best picture. Um,
yeah. The best,
but yeah,
well,
I'm
not
glad
best
that
picture.
Del Toro won it.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was very happy
a
about
good enough, that was a good enough movie that it could have won best picture.
that. Well, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I enjoyed it
I'm
though.
sure. Yeah, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was also up. The Sea Beast and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Did you see those?
Yeah, I did,
The Last Wish is pretty
and I
good.
agree. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it, considering Pixar's reputation with sequels. So, DreamWorks,
Yeah.
DreamWorks.
What do you think about the half live action Marcel the Shell getting a
I thought it was very
nomination?
sweet. It was a little bit more. It was more heartfelt than I was expecting. I thought it was uh, like I was expecting to cry as much as I did when I was watching it. So
Wow. Did you
yeah,
ever watch the YouTube videos of that?
no, the first time I'd heard of it was the movie. So
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely sweet. One of the sweeter films of that year. Um, Not so sweet, Turning Red.
yep,
Billie
I was like, it's
Eilish.
either going to be Turning Red or Strange World, and I still preferred
Billie.
Strange World because Strange World I at least had a little bit more fun with.
I like
So
Strange
even
World
though
too.
I
That was.
still didn't like it, but between these two movies, it's the one I prefer the most. It's the lesser of the two garbage piles.
Yeah, I like Strange World. I liked actually being on the Strange World, which is a metaphor for just being on this world. But Billie Eilish was did some songs for this movie. Did
Oh,
you
I
do
looked
you
down
like
and say
Billie
I turned it
Eilish?
off as soon as I don't like Billie Eilish now.
Yeah, she's really depressing.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, the
I turned it off
the
as soon as
only
I said it this movie.
well, she'll probably be nominated this year again for the Oscar
For what? For
for
what?
for Barbie.
Oh yeah.
Sh-
See, I don't remember a single song in that movie except for the Ryan Gosling one. So, and the Dua Lipa one, just because that
Yeah.
song is everywhere.
Well, they usually allow one movie to have more than one entry, but they took that away. So now they have to decide between the I Am Ken one or the Dua Lipa one or the Billie Eilish one. And the Billie Eilish is, pretty popular. She's as an artist. So yeah, the song is called "What Was I Made For?"
Yeah,
So I
that's
guess
right.
that
I remember that.
helps out the theme. But yeah, she's just so depressing. It's hard to listen to sometimes.
Yeah, it's really hot
Um,
topic grunge emo themes for
yeah.
that audience.
I was at Disneyland this past weekend. The Turning Red sort of memorabilia and stuff there's not a lot of it. They have the panda, of course, but I mean, it was, you saw almost more soul stuff and more, you know,
It's because it's a
like,
niche movie. It's not very widely accessible. It's not as widely
yeah,
accessible as all their other movies. And then you have ones like Cars, which are very for like little kids, but that sells a ton of merch, which is why there's 3 movies and possibly more coming out, because what they lose on the movie, they at least make up for in the merchandise sales. But yeah, this is for a very specific audience, and I think that the audience that this is for probably isn't going to watch it because they'll think I'm too cool for animated films. I'm in high school now. I've outgrown it. So I said the
did
same
you
thing
ever
about Ruby Gilman, which was this all over again.
yeah, that's true, actually. Interesting
Yeah,
animation in that one, though. Did you
yeah.
ever have like a musician or band or anything that you were obsessed with, like these girls did with Four Town?
No, I don't listen to a lot of mainstream music. I just all my music taste ends in like the year 1990. So there's not a lot of good music these days. So
90s is a great year, a great
Spotify
decade.
playlist all bunch.
Yeah. Well, I when I was in high school, it dates me, but NSYNC was huge. Backstreet Boys was huge. 98 Degrees was huge. So this was like I kind of understand this a little bit, the craze of it all, and that was fun. But and actually,
Did you like
this
Trolls
movie
3
takes.
then?
I haven't seen
Did
it
you
yet.
like Trolls 3? Oh, it's
No,
all about
I haven't. I
NSYNC,
mean,
so
yeah, I hear, and they've gotten back together just for this movie.
yeah.
But this movie does take place in 2002, which is actually around the same time that they were huge. So that kind of makes sense. Because I don't know if that happens much anymore. I mean, maybe BTS was like one of the last groups to be sort of huge. The one that Harry Styles was in, One Direction, I think,
One
was pretty
Direction.
big. Yeah. The Jonas Brothers, maybe. Well, now the biggest celebrity ever out there
Oh,
is Taylor Swift.
yeah.
She's the one that everyone's going gaga over. But you never did that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's too bad. It's
Mine are
it is
always
great.
like mine are always like movie actors or book authors. So
Jennifer Love
not
Hewitt was somebody
bands so
that
much.
I was. Yeah, I was more into like the actors and stuff. Like Jennifer Love Hewitt was somebody who I was completely obsessed with when I was younger.
Did you enjoy
Uh,
the
but
Garfield movie then?
what
The
was
Bill
that?
Murray Garfield movie. Just
Oh
because she was in it, the
no,
Bill Murray
no,
Garfield movie.
no. No, 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 no,
She was in it.
no.
She
I
was in
know
it.
she was, but doesn't make a movie good. Whoever, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
who's in it. I mean,
I know. I
they're
have a few
the
movies that they're all Teen Bopper Disney Channel movies, but I'll watch them just because Sophia Carson's in them. So
Sophia who?
Sophia Carson.
Carson. Let's
She
see
started
who
on
is.
Disney Channel, which is Descendants, because you haven't seen Descendants yet, but you're going to because they're doing a fourth one. We talked about
Oh,
movies leading up to
yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
She started branching out recently. It's doing like Netflix dramas, so starting to kind of shed
Yeah.
the Disney Channel Teen Bopper image. That's good. Hopefully, she gets those
I
right.
was.
Yep.
I went to a live taping of Celebrity Family Feud, and the Descendants crew was on there, and she was there.
Oh, good. That's
and
cool.
I think they won. So
Oh,
she's they have a good group. But yeah, cool.
yeah.
Um, so would you pay $200 to go see her sing somewhere like they did in this
But she
movie?
doesn't have a huge song catalog yet, but maybe. Skillet, though.
um,
Yeah,
yeah.
Skillet's a
What
good
about to
rock
what?
group. I'm doing Skillet. I almost got
What
to go
about
see
to
Skillet in concert, but
Skillet?
Skillet, yeah.
What kind of music is that?
They're, they're a rock group.
Oh, from
So,
Tennessee.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm more into rock as well.
yeah.
Um,
They did have a
Turning Red
concert here a few
Soul.
years ago, but I'm really great I can see it. So,
Well, are you in LA? Or are
no, they had
you
a
in
concert here in
California?
Fresno. Fresno,
Oh,
yeah.
Fresno.
Yeah.
How how far away is that?
It's like 3 hours away from LA. So,
Yeah, not bad. We should go check out a movie sometime. Oh yeah, I've seen these guys
yeah.
before. But Soul and Turning Red and Luca are all being released in theaters for the first time. Are you gonna
Not
check any of
here.
them out? No?
Well, no, because one, I own Soul on Blu-ray. I didn't
Hmm.
like Luca very much. I despise this movie, so I didn't like any of them, and I felt pay to see them in theaters, especially because I already own Soul. So the Soul's my favorite Pixar movie, but I'm not going to pay $15 to go see it in theaters, especially
Yeah.
because Madam Web is coming out in a few weeks. So I'd rather go see a new release of something I haven't seen yet. So
Have you seen anything recently?
yeah, I saw what was the movie I saw last week? The new Mean Girls movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. And pretty good?
Yeah, I enjoyed the original more, but I did enjoy the songs. And I liked the new actress. She was a lot better than Lindsay Lohan. She was a lot more believable as like the nerd outcast girl. So
Okay, but worth seeing.
well, if you've seen the original, I would say just wait to stream it. So because it's not really that much different than the original. We just added
Except
songs. So
yeah, except for its songs. Okay.
yeah, they didn't
All
add
right.
like
Yeah.
any new subplots or anything. Because at least with some of the Disney live action remakes, they at least add new subplots or other stuff to it. But this one didn't really do much that was different. So I would say just wait to stream it.
Hmm. All right. Yeah, the only movies that came out this week were Origin, the new Ava DuVernay movie, and then ISS, the International Space Station, that has the main girl from Ariana DeBose.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for
But
that when I went to go see Night Swim, and I'm like, I have never heard of this. So they did not advertise it very
yeah,
well.
they
So
did not because I had no clue about it at all until
yeah,
researching what's coming out
you see
this
one
weekend.
trailer for it, and it's 2 weeks before the movie comes out. So
Yeah. Do you like Ariana DeBose?
I have no idea who that is.
You didn't see West Side Story, the
Oh yeah, yeah,
Steven
yeah. That's not
Spielberg?
his story. I just don't remember anybody's names in that movie. So
Yeah, she won the Oscar. She's great.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Um, by the way, you mentioned Trolls 3. Did you watch that one?
I did. I enjoyed the first two Trolls. I was not a fan of this one because I was not obsessed with boy bands, and I was not a '90s girl, so I was not a teenage girl in the '90s. So
Yeah, so I guess that's the one of the issues with the Turning Red is that we just weren't girls in the
yeah,
90s.
exactly.
Over on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics give it 95%, but the audience 68. So I
Oh,
think,
interesting.
yeah, I think
Maybe,
it's sort of,
maybe the vocal minority is just louder.
yeah,
Maybe the vocal
yeah,
minority is just louder. Because, like I said, anytime I say in a video or anywhere else that I don't like, I posted the other day that we were going to do this, and people came for my head. They acted like I murdered a puppy or something. So,
yeah, they're just trolls. Over on IMDb is 7.0. So that's pretty good. 147,000 votes. But yeah, I'm sitting more in the Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Closer to the beginning of the 60s, which is
You can't
not
necessarily
certified
always
fresh.
trust that though. You can't necessarily always trust that though, because there were a lot of people who gave negative reviews to Rise of Skywalker like a year before it was even out, just because they didn't like Last Jedi. So a lot of those might just be troll people just going 1 star, like oh yeah. So I don't necessarily put much stock into any of it. So
I loved Rise of Skywalker. I'm a
what did
big
I?
fan.
Yeah.
Some pretty good names though in this one. Sandra Oh.
Yeah.
She's pretty
She's
big
in,
actress.
I
She
know her from
plays.
one movie. I know her from one movie, and it's another one of those Disney teeny bopper movies, and that is Ramona and Beezus with Selena Gomez.
Ah,
So she also,
yes.
yeah, she plays the teacher in that one. She plays Ramona's teacher. That's the only movie I know her from. Besides
Interesting.
this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Well, she was on that show, Grey's Anatomy, so I think that's where she kind of got
Which I've never
bigger.
watched. So I don't like medical
Yeah.
shows. My whole life is medical drama, so
Oh, really?
yeah. I have been through so many surgeries and hospitals in my life. I don't watch House or anything like that just because it triggered me a little bit too much. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that you've had to go through that. Has it been better?
I've been very open about it on my channel before. There have been times where I'm like, I'm taking a break, guys, for a few months. I'm going in for another hospital stay. So but yeah, it's getting better. So I mean, we're
Yeah.
doing this podcast. Obviously, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Also, James Hong played Mr. Gao. He's been, in a lot of voice acting and acting. Um, he was
Wait,
in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
was he Poe's dad in Kung Fu Panda, the goose?
But yeah, he also voices the goose. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. I mean, he has 459 acting credits on IMDb. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Lots of voicing.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you like Kung Fu Panda? They're coming out with another one.
yes, I'm so excited for the fourth one. The trailer looked better than I thought it was going to. So yeah.
You like 1, 2, and 3 though? They work for you?
I like 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I think that 2 is actually the best one. So, but I liked all of them. That's one of the DreamWorks franchise where there's no bad movies. So
What about Shrek?
Shrek, I'm not a fan of the third one. So Shrek the third
Shrek
is
the
not a
Third.
movie I care for. Yeah,
One of my all-time favorite
that's no
villains
bad.
is Lord Farquaad. I love Lord Farquaad from the first one. So good.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I
Yeah.
preferred that's good though.
Is everyone back in Kung Fu Panda 4? Is Angelina Jolie, Jackie
That's,
Chan, Seth Rogen?
that's what it looks like. Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
I don't
Don't
know.
get to see
Check that out.
Angelina Jolie much.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder. Let me check IMDb. I don't know because she wasn't in the trailer, so of course the trailer also didn't show much. I mean, we might get a trailer soon though because one, the Super Bowl is coming up, and DreamWorks has a movie coming out exclusively for Netflix called Orion in the Dark. So they might put out a trailer for Kung Fu Panda 4 around the time that comes out. Looks like Jack Black is the only person coming back for this one, unless they're keeping it a surprise. So
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman, and
yeah,
then Jackie Chan. But yeah, Aquafina seems to be added. Bryan Cranston,
no,
Viola
no,
Davis.
yeah, I like them,
Yeah.
but Aquafina, why? Okay, Aquafina.
What about Raya? Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah, I found her annoying in that. I found her annoying in Shang-Chi. I found her annoying in Migration. I find her annoying in everything. I have yet to see a movie where I enjoyed her. Because she does the
Huh.
same spiel that Gilbert Gottfried did, where it's if I yell enough, it's considered funny. She's like the lady Gilbert Gottfried. If I yell in an annoying enough voice, it's considered funny. Like, okay, I don't know.
yeah, where Gilbert didn't really talk like that outside of his character. So I
Yeah.
wonder if Aquafina's the same way. But yeah, she's good in that movie that was up for some Oscars. Let me look
Crazy Rich
here.
Asians.
The
Oh, there's a
Farewell.
movie I know her from, but I've never heard of
Crazy
that
Rich
one.
Asian. Yeah, The Farewell. It's pretty good. In an A24 film, independent.
Okay.
I think it was up for best international film that year. Oh no, it wasn't,
Yeah.
but it should have been. She's really good in it, and the grandmother's really good in it. Okay, and so what's next for Disney? Do you know?
For Disney Disaster, for Disney Delights, wait, I mean this year, what is our next episode?
Disney just in general, because the last movie that came out was Wish, and that didn't do well.
Oh, yeah. Well, the writer's strike pushed everything back. So as far as I know, their
Yeah.
next movie is Inside Out 2, and that's not until June. So it's
Oh,
going to be a long wait.
how do you feel about that
Yeah.
one?
Well, if they do the puberty stuff the way they did it in this movie, I'm not a fan. But I'll wait till the movie comes out. If they do it more like Big Hero 6 did it, then sure. So, but I'm a little bit more skeptical about Inside Out 2 because of this one. So,
So that's what I don't watch trailers, but so that's what this one's about is puberty again.
well, I mean, that's kind of set up by the end of the first movie, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So, but we're also introducing some new emotions like anxiety. That was an emotion from the trailer. So it looks like it could be cute. It could be funny because I did enjoy the trailer. But again, it might go in a weird direction like this one did. So,
And all the same people are back.
I think that I think what's her Mindy Kaling isn't coming back, and I think that Bill Hader isn't coming back either.
I wonder
Yeah,
why.
Amy Poehler and Will Smith are back. Louis Black is back, but Tony Hale is replacing Bill Hader as Fear. It looks like.
Huh?
So
He's pretty good.
I mean, that's a good choice though, because he plays the same character all the time. But it's a good choice though, especially because he was already in a Pixar movie. He was in Toy Story 4 as Forky, so
Yeah,
he was good
that
in
was
that.
one of the biggest additions. I mean, every single movie that Toy Story has done, they've gotten more characters added and big characters that have become beloved by everybody. I mean, those toys sell the most and look like they have the most at the Disney, at Disneyland. The second one with
Which is
Jesse
why
and
we're getting
Bullseye.
Toy Story 5, which we don't need.
Yeah, I know,
Of course,
right?
I said the same thing about Toy Story 4 and I ended up loving it. So I wonder what Toy
Yeah,
Story 5
and
is even going to be about, though. So
Forky was huge, and then in the third one you had the bear. That was a big seller.
so yeah.
So yeah, they'll probably come out with something else that everyone's gonna love. The other thing it looks like Disney's bringing in this year is Mufasa the Lion King.
Yeah, the sequel to the live action Lion King. However, I am glad that it is a prequel and it's an original story in the sense that it's not a remake. They're not doing Simba's Pride this time. They're going to do like the origin story of Mufasa. I just wish that it was traditionally animated. If you're going to go that route, cool. I want a Mufasa origin story. I want to see how Scar became so evil. But why are you doing it in that weird live action CGI style? Just go back and 2D animate it, guys. Come on. So
I
it's coming
completely
out the same day
agree.
as Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It's coming out the same day as Sonic the Hedgehog 3, so we'll see. One of those is going to move. One of those is going to move.
Yeah, Mufasa is one of my all-time favorite just characters. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
my
mean, James
favorite
Earl
part of
Jones is
Lion
coming
King.
back. Hopefully, James Earl Jones does a better job in this one than he did in the live-action remake. Because you could tell he was bored. He's like, I already read these lines, guys. Why are you making
Yeah,
me read them again?
and he's done it 100 times, because he had to do it so many times for the movie, and then now he's doing it again. And yeah,
Yeah.
poor guy. But what a job. I'm glad he's still working and you know, doing some of the most iconic voice roles ever. Like, yeah, I think he still helps out with Darth
Oh,
Vader. And
oh, looks like James Earl Jones isn't in this one. They're because they want the voice to sound younger because it's a prequel. So we've got Aaron Pierre as Mufasa in this one. So
oh,
and then Calvin Harrison Jr. will be playing Scar. I
oh,
don't know
love
why they're
me
just
some Calvin.
yeah
Love Calvin Harris Jr. Oh, and Billy Eichner and Seth
yeah
Rogen are back. Oh my
yeah
God. Okay. Aaron Pierre. All right.
yeah.
Don't know this person. Oh, he's in Old and
Oh
Foe.
yeah, I didn't care for
Foe
that
this
movie.
passion. Oh, I think he's going to be the new Blade.
Oh no, that was Mahershala Ali as
Oh, then
Blade.
he's in Blade. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
he's just going to be in it. Ooh, Maya Goth is going to be in Blade. She's good. Or Mia.
Yeah.
You didn't like Old?
No, I didn't. I didn't like the ending. I thought the message was terrible. It was like if you have certain medical conditions, then you deserve to go on an island and die. And as somebody who is personally affected by that every day, it was pretty much
Yeah,
the same
that.
thing as the people who defend Thanos. So people were like, "Yeah, Thanos was right." It felt to me like a Thanos was right movie. So
That's good.
yeah.
Well, cool. Anything else about Turning Red?
No, I think we covered it. Unless there's something else you want to add before we close.
Just makes us all turn red. Oh, with
Exactly with
hatred.
anger. We just into the Red Hulk.
Good stuff. But yeah, it's still, you know, it's obviously got a lot of love from a lot of people. So don't let us deter you away from
Yeah,
it. Go check it out and have your own opinion on it because you might like it more than we do.
yeah. Right. And next week we're going to be talking about an underrated Disney movie, and that is Treasure Planet. So are you going to be joining us for that one, or is it just going to be me and Robbie?
I don't think I'm available next weekend, but I do like that movie.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
it doesn't have to be on the weekend. It can be also anytime during the week as well.
yeah, I'm
So
usually
just let us know.
working,
Robbie said he's going to
but
let us know on Tuesday what day he's available. So
yeah, sounds good. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, Treasure
all
Planet is
right.
available on Disney Plus. Go check it out. Joseph
Yeah.
Gordon-Levitt, Martin
Or just buy
Short.
the Blu-ray. Or just buy the Blu-ray because physical media is superior, as we are learning. Because
Yeah,
Disney pulled a bunch of their movies, which I enjoyed though.
I
I'm in the minority, but I enjoyed Artemis Fowl. I was a little mad that they pulled it. So, which is
that
very.
was
I
a
wanted
tough
to
one.
talk about it on here, but yeah,
That was a tough
they
one.
also pulled
Artemis
Crater.
Fowl is tough.
They didn't give Crater a chance either because Crater was good too. That was like the Goonies in space, and
Oh,
nobody watched it. All these
yeah,
people
I didn't see
complaining
that
that
one
Disney
either.
doesn't do anything original. They gave us an original movie. Everybody that's complaining Disney never does anything original. They gave us an original movie for once. No one watched it, and then they pulled it. You can still buy it on Vudu, but the fact that no one watched it doesn't bode well for the future because they think, well, we did put out something original, I guess, but nobody watched it. So I guess we're just going to keep going with what people want, which is familiarity. So Crater was good though. It
Yeah,
was the Goonies in space. Yeah,
yeah. A lot of people were saying that was one of their favorite, like top 15 of the year, top 20 of the year. So it,
yeah,
I wouldn't shy away from that one. But yeah, it's not
yeah,
available only to rent or buy.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
Hopefully we get a physical media release of that like we did with Mandalorian a while ago. So
Yeah, and yeah, I think Disney was just doing what HBO did is just they had to get rid of a bunch of stuff to bring in more room, for
which doesn't make
Ahsoka and
sense. Which doesn't make sense.
other.
I understand if it was like a licensing deal, like we didn't make the movie, so we need and we paid for the licensing for this movie, but you made it. You're not out
Yeah,
anything. Why pull it? That doesn't make sense. I enjoyed
yeah, it's
when
not
Warner Brothers when they canceled Coyote versus Acme, there was a guy who said it's the equivalent of burning down your house to get insurance money, making the movie and then canceling it or pulling it from the
right.
streets. Where it's like, yep, he's
Well,
not wrong.
like Batgirl, right? It was sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, if it's already on your streaming service, like it's not taking up room, you know. It's just gonna be there. Like just have it be on Disney Plus. There's no reason for it not to be. But what do we know?
Which goes to show you don't actually own what you stream. If you want to own it, you buy it on disc, which is how I do
Yeah,
that. Which is why I have almost
yeah,
600 Blu-rays. So,
very nice. Wow. Yeah, I have a
yeah, well,
bunch. I don't have
I've been
600, but
collecting
I
since
have,
2011.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for having me on here, Josh. This was great. Yeah, I'll definitely come back to talk about a movie that I do like. That way, we're not always so negative.
Exactly. What movie would you want to talk about then? Because I know that Robbie wants to talk about Treasure Planet. What was the one you wanted?
Oh, well, it has to be one that you like as well, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm going to suggest a movie.
okay. Well, I'll think about it
So
because
you
there's
should get
there's
it.
some ones. Yeah,
Yeah. I like the majority of his movies. There's very few I don't like. So,
yeah. I'll reach
and if
out
I
and
haven't
let you
seen it,
know
I'll watch it. Cool.
just to see.
All right.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
So next week,
Thanks,
Treasure
buddy.
Planet, and then 2 weeks is Mars Needs Moms. So, all right.
Mars needs moms. Sounds fun.
Yeah. All right. So we will see you all here at some point next week. So thank you all for joining us, and let us know what you guys thought of Turning Red and how wrong we
Tell
are.
us.
Please be respectful.
Come at me with all
Respectfully
you
tell
got.
us why we were wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for having me. See you guys.